thunder, lightning, loud sounds and wrestling, microphones under pine.
Welcome to Tim and Joel Talk. Tim and Joel Call in the Ring, flagship. We're going to talk about wrestling, mostly Raw, but then some other stuff too. Howdy.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you,
Joel? I'm okay. It's storming.
It is. I have been all day listening to the sounds of thunder and hard rain as my apartment hits 30 degrees because I don't have central air, Tim, and it's absolutely awful.
Yeah, you're missing out. It's the only way to live. Pretty chill. I open the screen door and the humid wave hits me and I step out and I get my fill and then I come back into this and it's great. Got a cold beer.
Well, while you're here, friends, toss us a cold, hard like on the video if you're watching live on YouTube. If you're in podcast land and listening to us on audio, because apparently people are doing that, and that's pretty neat too, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're on, because guess what? That gets people a little bit closer to getting us in their ears as well. And that's all we want to do. We want to share our love of wrestling with you. And for those asking about my own personal streaming, it's been because it's so humid that my joints are locked up and I can't play guitar that easily. But the good news is 2 people who can play around very easily now are Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, who got married today. Congratulations. Mazel tov.
That was a terrible segue. I'm not going to get away with that. That's gross and
awful.
weird.
Yeah, it was god awful. I agree, it was awful. God.
Okay,
yeah.
As long as you're hanging your head in a little bit of shame, we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they've got a kid, so they're happy, all right? I hope.
All right, we're going to talk about something other than random strangers' personal lives.
Yeah, let's talk about Raw. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Randy. Randy's hurt, or at least unavailable. I want to, at the top of the show, they go to the back and they're just like, oh, Randy's unavailable. And I'm just like, well, that really sucks because, 2 hours before the show, you were all like, there's a triple threat match in the main event. And I was all like, I'm going to enjoy that triple threat match in the main event. And then they were all like, hey, Randy's hurt. And I was like, what the hell is this? So.
Pump full COVID? Random speculation?
I have no idea. And I know that there are people who are trying to get an idea of what was going on with Randy, if he was hurt, if it was part of a storyline, if they wanted to freshen things up, who knows? Either way, I didn't realize when they said that Randy was unavailable that the battle royal that they were going to run was going to have the winner added to the main event to make the triple threat. I was very confused.
You got to pay attention. I followed. I understood.
Yeah, well, listen, it was fine. And I appreciate that it had stakes. The battle royal had stakes. And then once I saw Riddle, I was like, well, all the stakes are going to him.
Yeah. Yeah, they set it up at the very, very tippy top of the episode. They had their little, talking head segment, Sonya and Adam. But that was very quickly interrupted by Riddle, who then rambled for a while, and they did the letter goof. So I can see why the actual stakes got a little bit buried.
Did you enjoy the letter gimmick? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's fine. I have no strong feelings towards it. I mean, I don't know. I guess Riddle's an idiot is the gag. Ha ha.
Well, it's more than that. But the good news is Damian Priest came back. So we got to see him. They were in the final 2. It was Priest and and Riddle, and I was happy with that. I knew Priest wouldn't win. Again, the story is still Riddle, and I'm still riding on it's going to be looking like it's going to be Bro in the Bank, dude.
I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic for this year's men's Money in the Bank. It sounds really. I don't know. There's some possibilities.
Yeah, there are, and it's either Biggie in the bank or Bro in the bank. I'm looking at it from a marketing space, and I also think that it's just we're in that place where whoever wins the Money in the Bank could actually be catapulted. And if it's Drew McIntyre, and we'll get to that in a moment, that's going to be such a downward momentum play for WWE. I don't like that, but we'll get there.
John Morrison, maybe.
Jomo would be great. I'd love to see that. Don't expect it.
It's a possibility.
Jomo and Ricochet are there for one thing and one thing only, and it involves spots like the one that ended their match last night.
I can't wait. I can't wait for this match. Honestly, everybody in it, it's good. It's good. Even though Drew is in it, I don't mind him being in it. I just don't want him to win it, you know?
Absolutely. I even liked having Jinder Mahal back and in that battle royal. He had a good showing. I enjoyed it. The 24/7 title came back. Whatever. Not a big fan of it, but at least it was something to break up a battle royal. Whatever. You know?
Yeah. It's fine.
There's a really interesting story developing with Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, and they played it out a little bit further on socials after the fact. So they were both in the battle royal, they were both eliminated, and then Mansoor, he confronts Mustafa Ali, and he says he's been listening to Ali because he respects him, and then Ali is saying that, you know, the road is full of hardships, and he doesn't want Mansoor to end up just like him. And of course, this feud probably ends up on main event, doesn't it?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like they've started to build little nuggets like this that then just don't go anywhere. They just drop them, and then eventually the people get released. And nothing happens. Like they do this a lot. So I'm not getting my hopes up, but if they do want to take that somewhere, there's lots of good stuff there. Maybe take it.
They clearly have plans for Mansoor, and they clearly really like Mustafa Ali as an ambassador, as a wrestler, as someone who is frequently on TV. There's something for both of them to do. I just don't think they know what to do. The blow off, honestly, might just turn out to be at the next Saudi show if they do it sometime this year, which is inevitable as things start to kind of clear up and more travel is happening, things of that nature. I don't know what to expect, but I feel like that's the way they're going to go.
Yeah.
Maybe put a title shot on it, or whoever wins is more positioned to face the U.S. champion, who of course will probably be Jackson Ryker.
By that point, absolutely.
In his red and yellow, get there in a moment. Okay, back to the battle royal. So Omos comes out and he takes out the Viking Raiders because of course Viking Raiders and Omos and AJ Styles have a match coming eventually. I didn't like it only because I would have preferred if Omos was in the battle royal and he'd eliminated Viking Raiders. And then you could have even had Omos win the battle royal because they knew that Drew was going to win the triple threat later in the night. And then you do Drew versus AJ versus Omos, and the story becomes AJ and Omos teaming up on Drew. And eventually Drew overcoming the odds and getting the win. Why wouldn't you play a story like that?
I think they just wanted to give... I don't know. It's possible to me that they wanted like a good match to cap off Raw this week because like they gave them a generous amount of time, right? And like maybe that's why they wanted to, like maybe it is they wanted to freshen things up, and taking Randy out of that main event like makes that match a lot more interesting. And it was a hell of a match. Like it was really good. And I think a large part of that is, you know, begrudgingly, because Riddle was in it and he had like a lot of great spots. So I don't know. I can see why they might not have wanted to go that way, especially because they all like they've done a lot of handicap stuff recently. So I'm just like, meh.
So we move forward to the triple threat main event after Riddle, of course, wins the match, eliminates Damian Priest last. We got a great main event, whatever, but an unexpected finish as Drew McIntyre wins that triple threat. I was going into it assuming Randy. I thought that the play was to have Randy in the match. Sure, okay. Not huge on Drew winning. I guess there are some people who do want him in there. There is the caveat where if Drew wins Money in the Bank, he still cannot face Lashley for the title. He cannot cash in on Lashley. As long as Lashley's champion, Drew can't touch it. Is that a play that you want to make if Drew wins, that he has to sit there and wait for the briefcase to be eligible for him to use?
Yeah, I could see that being something they want to do. I could see them teasing things with the draft coming up and him taking on Roman, although I don't really want to see that. I see them being able to add more to their package, like pre-match with something like this, because like they can ask those questions, right? In a captivating video format. So I see why they did it. I'm not super against it yet. I don't mind Randy not being in the ladder match. So I just don't want Drew to win. I just think that would be such a boring decision.
In that triple threat main event, Riddle goes hard into the stairs and starts clutching at his feet and telling them, you know, I think I broke my foot. To me, it's overselling, and it's really just not something that caught me. What did you think? I think the look in your eye kind of told the story.
Yeah, it was annoying as hell. Like,
was it too much for you?
I don't. you'd have to mess up your foot pretty hard for it to be that painful for you to be whining like that. Like, honestly, like, I don't know. I watched my wife break her foot not that long ago, and it, like, in the position where if he broke his foot, like, she broke it in the same place and she was more or less fine, just like in pain, like not screaming, not writhing. So it was just a little bit silly to me. I guess his foot's all bare and he kind of sort of kicked the metal, but we all knew that he was coming back, which is exhausting to me. Like, yeah. There was no question there. Like, they've played it out too many times. They gotta, you know, make him not come back so that maybe the next time, I don't know. Like,
yeah, and like you said, it was obvious that they were going to bring him back into the match. He was going to limp down and have the superhero return. And I guess this is where having Drew wins makes it a little bit more okay, because they didn't make it as obvious like that.
Fine with it. Like, honestly, like, him coming back and losing is at least more interesting to me than him coming back and winning.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. And let's move on. So that was the main event, and that was the opening segment. So that kind of crossed all that hairs. Let's talk about Nikki Ash, almost a superhero cross, and Shayna Baszler. First of all, that's my purse. I can't do it because my voice is shot. Yes, Alexa Bliss kicking Reggie in the sack.
It was pretty good. Like, very fluid. A good old, like, front, and then a very nice little donkey kick.
There's a photo from WWE.com. If you go to WWE.com/photos and you look at the Raw photos, smack dab in the middle, there is the reaction shot of Reggie. Exactly, where he's like, he looks like he's been kicked in the balls because he has. It's just the perfect sell. If you have a chance, go take a look at it. So they're going to rename Nikki Cross Nikki Ash, presumably because there's another Cross incoming.
Yeah. That's you getting those strong vibes, especially all the rumors. Well, I guess confirmation now that Vince is going to scout NXT talent and them doing the main event stuff and all this other. It seems like he's poised to move up.
The security is going to be on high alert for Vince, and I'm not talking about Cal Bloom and the rest of the NXT extras. They're legit talking about it. But it looks like, yeah, Nikki Ash, almost a superhero, whatever it's going to be. That's going to be potentially her new name. Maybe they'll workshop it. Who knows? For me, the gimmick, it's a merch maker, a merch seller. It's for kids.
Yeah, it's for kids.
Whatever. It's fine. And then you end up with, what's her face? Cross and Bliss. You have Alexa Bliss, who's doing the same gimmick, but flipped. It is, again, childish. It is, it works to have those two kind of team up and also have a story together where the kids get a little scared, but also, you know, the superhero maybe gets on top at the end.
Yeah, could be that. There's another way you could take it, and I think I might have seen someone in our Discord talking about it last night. Shout out to the Discord. Join the Discord. Link below. It could be really interesting because Nikki's confidence is fueled by surviving for a few minutes and that counting as a win, having outside interference contribute to her winning. Like, it's not her own success, right? There's always caveats on everything that she's done so far. I would like to see her continue to receive that and then eventually have it disappear. Like, have her be completely on her own and then start to just lose. Like, just start losing that and slowly maybe turn into a super villain. Like, and then maybe get back with Alexa Bliss because there's a nice long arc with that. And then you got a couple of creepy weirdos doing their creepy weirdo thing. But that's me wanting something a little bit different than just Lady Hurricane and Mighty Molly.
Ash. It's Ash.
My God. Which is also terrible. What they were said, aspiring to be a superhero, and then they changed it to almost a superhero, and I was like, you still have to drop a letter for the act. I hate it.
I think part of the ASH acronym also comes from her trying to be cutesy and think that it'll be kind of like a phoenix rising from the ashes, because she's reinventing herself and she's becoming the person she always wanted to be. I think that's part of the play as well for Nikki. I don't know. Again, I'm willing to give this legs because while it's not for me,
yeah.
If you're trying to put it out for kids, you can at least make the argument that it needs to be fleshed out for kids.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's not my jam, but it's a 3-hour show. I can tune out for 5 minutes.
Exactly. I had to tune out for this promo from Charlotte, Natty, and Tamina going into the 6-woman tag where nobody knows who is supposed to be rooting for whom. It was not fun to listen to her talk about Legacy, and then for the rest of the internet to be like, oh, Legacy's a good name for that trio. And I'm like,
they're not going to be a trio. Charlotte's not working. Oh my God.
Not just that, there was a trio named Legacy not too long ago. And one of them's a little busy with another company right now. Just had a kid. It's going to come out with all the fireworks and the Liberty Bell and everything this week. Anyway, we can get to that later. But yeah, the promo before the match, no good. And then the match is fine. There's a hilarious cutaway where they show the picture-in-picture with Rhea and then Manny and Dana, and like she says 3 words and they cut out. Oh God! If
women's champion, Raw Women's Champion.
Oh God! Oh, shout out to Michael with the picture of Reggie in the Discord. There you go. I love it.
Oh my God! It was bad post match, bad everything. It was bad. I don't
chop block.
Everyone in this match sucks. Like I'm rooting for Mandy and Dana. Like I don't like it feels like they're trying to serve you up this like, I don't know, there's different ways of looking at the world and you can choose who you like, and it's like the carrying the family legacy is instant heat from me. I don't care. Screw you. Like I don't care about any of them. I want to see them fail. Like so go Dana and Mandy, because like new music too this week. It's fine. I don't see why. But
was it new music? I was trying to figure out if it was.
Yeah, I think so, because they had a different theme. Anyway.
All right. They've changed it enough times. I'm just like, no, sure, whatever.
It's just it's music, all of like every WWE theme nowadays.
Oh man, we're gonna get to that in a sec. First, let's talk about our favorites, Eva Marie and Doudrop. And this week, I don't know if you want to call it this, but it was really, can they coexist?
Yeah. Like
turnabout is fair play. Okay, that's all you need to know. Doudrop having a very strong match. I loved it. Looked dumb, not expecting Eva Marie to do exactly the thing that she did to her tag team partner the week before. Whatever. But we're building now. The story is going to become Doudrop is eventually going to say her actual name in front of crowds. That's the story, and I'm so for it.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Again, I think it's going to happen on a faster timeline than I would have done, but that's okay.
You know how you really stretch it out? You have Doudrop win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Win the title for Eva Marie. Eva Marie wins the Raw Women's Championship. Doudrop wins the Raw Women's Championship from Eva Marie the next night. Says her name is Piper Niven, and I'm over this shit. And we're off to the races. Piper Niven as Raw Women's Champion.
I mean, I don't know. The way it's going, I'm doubtful that's going to happen, but perhaps.
I mean, so am I, but who knows? I still think that the story becomes Eva Marie has something on Doudrop that has to keep them together, at least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they'll figure it out. Like Eva's had... it's hard to tell because her face is a block of wood. But she kind of reacted like, oh, impressive at the end, I think. It's hard reading her face.
What's not hard is reading a thumbs up on this video, so go ahead and do it. And also joining our Discord, because why not? Let's talk about that effing strap match. I had it fully
4 minutes. No, 3.5 minutes. Why build to this for 3.5 minutes?
And they gave new shitty music to Elias.
It's not even Elias. It sounds like Bargain Bin Foo Fighters.
Yeah, it was no good. I don't know what... I'm assuming it's a placeholder because they want to get rid of CFO's themes. I get that.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired of their business decisions ruining their product. Like,
yeah, well,
manage your contracts better. Be forward thinking. Plan better. Like,
yeah. Well, listen.
The music used to be so good. I was like, it fit the mood of what it was, and now I don't know. All of the music in WWE is like hot garbage. Shout out Mikey Ruckus. capable person.
It's true. Very good at what he does. That's true. Riker wins the match somehow. And whatever, dude.
He was like a boring, weird, like Uranagi, like sidewalk slam, like
wearing his red and white, or red and yellow. Comes out as, oh, Hogan's my favorite. It's like, yeah, we know, bud.
Have you noticed they made all of his backstagers with people of color? Like they're trying to like do something about it and like make it seem like he's cool. He's down with them. Like,
how awkward is it to have him and R-Truth? And R-Truth is the awkward one. Normally, this time
I know.
He was downright sane. It was not good.
I don't know, man. Like, it's such a weird to make this a babyface character that they clearly expect to be over, and he's like a mentally unstable veteran.
I don't trust them to tell the story right. But one thing that I find interesting is, to me at least, the idea of moving Elias over to SmackDown, trading him for Crying Corbin, or Happy Corbin, as it was trademarked today. Looking forward to that one playing out. And I just think that's where we're going to see. It's going to be those two switching over. And then we'll do Boogs and Elias and a guitar off. And that's all I want in my life.
That sounds awesome. I'm fine with that. I like Elias. I hate that he has to do this dumb crap. It's been dumb thing after dumb thing on Raw. Yeah.
Yep. Well, let's talk about Morrison and Ricochet, because this wasn't so dumb. I enjoyed the pre-match promo. So I enjoy Morrison just being like, Miz isn't the fastest. He's not the strongest. That's it.
It was good. It was good. The water play.
It's
a good time.
Yeah, fun. It's a fun match, and of course you can do all the flips. You can do all the flying. These two have met before. For anyone who's a Lucha Underground fan, you may remember Johnny Mundo and Prince Puma at one point. But the finish, it worked. This is one of the few times where a countout works, because you had, first of all, I don't care about crash pads. Whatever, it was fun and it was safe and it was a good
Make
spot.
it look that good. I don't care. Like, I didn't see the crash pad this time. I don't need to see Morrison's back slap if the whole first part is that interesting. Yep. Like, that's the thing. Crash pad or not, he like extended himself and slapped against him. Like, look good.
Made it look good.
There was risk. Doesn't matter.
Speaking of risk and reward, Kofi and MVP. That promo off.
God, there was some. Yeah, it's good to see that there were so many like really good moments on Raw.
I like that Kofi goes right into it by saying you need to praise Xavier Woods. And puts him over, because of course we know that next week it's going to be Lashley and Woods again, and basically Lashley's going to lay out both Kofi and Xavier Woods, and that's fine. It's going to make Lashley look dominant because he was off this week. Kofi saying, he traveled the world with the title, but Lashley's taking the week off. Just really good babyface fodder from Kofi, and fire. I was into that. I believe in it, and that's why our video. That's why the name of this this episode is about KofiMania. This is the first time, this promo was the first time where I really thought to myself, if they can lock down Brock, they can actually have Kofi win the title at Money in the Bank and do Brock Kofi 2, do KofiMania 2, and it would actually really get people interested and involved.
And it will actually be a match that lasts longer than 9 seconds.
Right. You can
you can mulligan that atrocity.
Yes, you can absolutely make up for what has been so frustrating for so many people for so long. And again, they make the creative, they make it happen. And for one thing, Brock bumps for smaller guys. This is one of those times where you can have an excellent match, and who knows who wins. Lashley, Brock technically might want to win on his first night in, but again, who knows?
I think he'd be okay taking the payday. Like, he's just looking to extend his compound in Saskatchewan. Like, that's all he's doing. Like, I don't think he wants to come back full time. I don't think they want to at some point, these part-timers can't be so critical. Like, do the payday, but like, if he wins, he's got to stick around for some period of time, right? So like, at a certain point, that benefit is not that enticing to you. But I don't know. Different people are different. Maybe he's that much of a narcissist.
So Kofi goes around and he's calling out Lashley for being soft, focusing on the women that they're bringing out every week and all the vacations, not being the guy, not being the champion. And of course, MVP, goes and he defends his guy as he should, and eventually just gets
laid out,
takes the KO.
Yeah, it's good, damn good.
Very. Yes, and I mean, I think this promo made me think more towards SummerSlam as Kofi and Brock is a possibility. That would sell me a ticket instantly. I want to see Brock and Lashley.
Same. I do. Fine too.
But we'd have to find a way to do that. And that's a good point. Clayton in the chat is saying Brock lost to Cena when he returned in 2012 at Extreme Rules. That is true. I remember watching that. It's a good point. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't think Brock is not the same as Goldberg. So it's not off the table that he just comes back and drops it.
That's right. And I would like to see Brock come in and maybe stick around for a little bit, and then whatever happens next happens.
Yeah.
Is there anything else from Raw that really stood out to you, or that you caught in your craw, anything like that?
I saw someone mention it in our chat, but watching that AJ Amos segment with the Irish guy, I can't remember his name.
Sheamus?
No,
Kevin Patrick.
Kevin Patrick. Yeah, I'll never remember that. Trying to fit the frame was just so funny because he would watch the camera just it was just in and out over and over again. Very good time because they insist on putting Amos, in the foreground to show how big he is over AJ Styles. Very funny.
Let me go before we go to the AEW Dynamite preview. I'm going to give you 2 NXT little scoopskis before we get to that. First of all, the 2021 NXT Breakout Tournament has been announced. It's going to start July 13th. I'm excited for that. They did the Breakout Tournament a couple years ago. If you remember, the winner was ACH. That didn't really go over so well, but the tournament was really good. Included Bronson Reed, included Dexter Lumis. There was countless talent, that many of whom actually went on to do a lot of really cool stuff in NXT. So keep that in mind. That'll probably be announced later tonight on the show. And also, Harlem Bravado is making his 205 Live debut this week, and he is now called Andre Chase. So good luck. Let's have some fun.
Well, that's a
talk about Dynamite.
Let's talk about Dynamite.
I mean, Harlem Bravado only goes so far as a name.
It's at least more interesting.
I guess so. All right, main event on AEW Dynamite this week is going to be, for the first time ever, MJF taking on Sammy Guevara. This is good. I'm excited because they're going to put all the heat on MJF. I'm very happy for that. So good. Good to slap. Anything that you're looking forward to in this, because we've talked about the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle feud, and we talked about how everyone's kind of they've all sectioned off and they've got their own thing going on. We talked about Proud and Powerful LAX taking on FTR down the line, hopefully in a best of God knows how many series. And we saw the MMA fight, I don't know, whatever it is. And, Sean Spears is involved too somewhere, I guess. So now we got MJF, Sammy Guevara. We're clearly getting to MJF and Jericho, but is there anything else in this Inner Circle Pinnacle feud that you want to see, are expecting to see? What do you want?
I still think they need to find a way to get Sean Spears to step up, but we'll see. The clock is ticking on that. I don't know. He's just going to be the guy who hits people with chairs.
Oh no, he's just a chair pervert.
Yeah, exactly.
Guevara is very much over. We know this.
Yeah. I mean, it's because of the crazy stuff he does in the ring and ring adjacent. I don't know. He's a damn talented dude. So
he's young. He's good looking dude. So people like that. And then they announced that Crush Jericho is going to be on commentary all night.
What?
Yeah. CJ's on commentary.
Great. So I got 2 people I don't want to listen to on commentary all night.
Yeah, I get to listen to him just go, oh yeah, and other Kiss things that he's going to steal from everyone else. MJF wins.
I can't call it. I have no idea.
I could see Sammy getting a roll-up victory last second, and then MJF just beating the shit out of Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, that seems more likely to me.
As let's say FTR, I really think Jericho, this whole Jericho commentary thing leads to Jericho being held off.
It's gonna be
MJF beats up Guevara post match.
We're gonna get to an MJF Jericho gimmick match where Jericho does what he thinks is a big spot that allows him to go on tour, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be a South Beach strap. Sorry, no. Sorry.
No.
No, sorry. Wrong guys. Either way, I think, listen, it'll be a fun match. It's just, again, going back, it's all Inner Circle and Pinnacle. That's their their mishmash, and that's fine for now.
Yep.
Gang Wars. Gang Wars. Britt Baker and Rebel take on Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. Andrade and Vicky are teasing their big surprise. Is it a replacement? What do you think?
Again, I can't tell. I don't know if it was just like an offhanded comment or if it was meant to be like big hype surprise. Have they been using the word surprise in any of the marketing lead up or anything? Any of the promo cards?
No, because the surprise is more Andrade Vicky focused and not on this match.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah.
People seem to think it's either a replacement or the debut of Tommy and the former Aleister Black. I was looking at A words. Yes, I don't think so. I'm still not there. I'm still not sold on Tia Trinidad, Zelina Vega, as she was in WWE, showing up in AEW. I'm not sold on that yet.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a certainty either. So
in the match, what I would prefer is that it's still Vicky and Nyla, but Vicky's just not tagged in for more than a second.
She doesn't need to do anything. Maybe to get the pin, but that's about it.
Nyla dominates everybody, and then Nyla doesn't even get the pin. Man, Nyla getting the pin makes sense because we want to get to Nyla and Britt at Fyter Fest. So her getting the pin visually makes sense. But Vicky, if they really want to pour on the heat, you have Vicky take the pin over Rebel. Or over Britt Baker.
You could have like Vicky just get knocked the F out while being the legal person in the ring. Have Nyla destroy whoever the other person is and then just throw Vicky onto them.
Yes. I mean, I think we're both on the same page. Nyla and Vicky have to win this match.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because having listen, as good as the imagery of Vicky tapping out to Britt Baker's finish, name eludes me right now, as good as that would look, and as funny as it would look to see Vicky sell that, it would just make Nyla look like a chump,
a non-threat.
Doesn't work. But speaking of threats, we have the TNT title. Miro is defending against Brian Pillman. We didn't talk about that promo on Saturday. We glossed over the most important part of Dynamite last week.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about it in so many other channels that
the man now thinks he is God's favorite champion.
This is a good heel.
I love it so much. The dude was pitched to come in and be a gamer, and next thing you know, he's like, I have a better idea.
Soldier of Christ, Miro.
How about I thank God and my hot wife, and I dominate everyone? It is literally, it's the story of Hardcore Holly. There's an old story of Hardcore Holly in the back being like, how about you give me the belt?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then what? Yeah. And then I beat everybody. It's literally that, but Miro found a way to make it more entertaining.
Well, Miro's taken a few less headshots, so.
One would assume. I loved it, though. I mean, this is perfect for Miro. It's leveled him up. It has. We didn't
know if he was going to, like, he came in with so much hype and it was such a fizzle, and we were talking about what needed to happen, and there were baby steps that got him there, and now we're here and he's exactly where he needs to be. He needed that TNT title belt. This is excellent. He's everything he should be.
He is no longer the best. He's the best man. He is no longer the best. He is just the best, man. I'm very happy with this. I'm excited. Brian Pillman's another guy who has been racking up wins as a tag team, and now I think fighting for the honor of Julia Hart, and also just getting the kicked out of him on Saturday.
Getting squished.
It's fine by me. Pillman's a good wrestler. We know the outcome, but it's still going to be fun. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Talking about tag team eliminator matches, the Young Bucks are going to take on Eddie Kingston and Penta. What do you think? Because Pac, Penta, and Eddie, are we going to get Pac and Kenny down the line?
That would be good. I mean, they do a great work together.
The other hand,
I don't know.
Pac was just pinned.
Yeah, like, I also feel like I've seen this match through so many different combinations already that, like, I'm not that excited. I just kind of don't care at this point because they've done it in various configurations, like I said. So I'm just...
I'm expecting a schmoz finish.
Yeah.
I just
cold spray.
Yeah, Cold Spray, Cutler, Good Brothers, maybe Kenny. Maybe not Kenny. I don't know. Actually, maybe Kenny, because Kenny's not listed as part of the show officially.
Yeah, so might show up in that regard because they're live, right?
They're live from now
So
on. They're live.
I think you'll see Kenny.
So we can have the Bucks win and another tag team is out, or I wouldn't mind seeing Eddie and Penta get the win, have a tag title match at Fyter Fest, because we have a whole summer of stories to tell.
Yeah, exactly. I think they need to do that. The Young Bucks need competition, so let's just give these guys the shot. They've been telling this story for a little while, so there's enough stuff to put together a package for it and everything. So,
and if you want to put together your package with us, toss a like on the video. Nice. You like that?
Could be misconstrued.
That's the point.
I don't want it to be. My Twitter's right here. I don't.
Anyway, let's talk about NXT. Let's talk about NXT. We have the Great American Bash next Tuesday. Can you believe it?
Nope. Forgot it was
Neither
happening.
can I. Neither can I, because they don't have a full card yet, and I'm sure they will by the end of tonight.
Forgot it was even a thing.
Now, first of all, let's talk about it. Cross and Gargano at Great American Bash. Who called it? Who called it in May? Huh? Who called that shit in May? Huh?
It's good. It's good. Yeah, it makes sense.
You're welcome. Yeah. Anyway. Last week we had Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan taking on Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. They are turning the way.
Yeah, they're clearly.
Did not expect. I guess it's the only way for Gargano and Cross to actually have the dynamic needed to have their match, right?
Yeah, and they did a good job by taking the opportunity to have Joe coming in be the catalyst to it, to be like, you know what? No, this place is chaos, and that's still very on brand with the heel version of them, right? Like the desire for order, law and order, that at least goes their way. So, you know, it was good. They got behind Joe, and now they can just be kind of like comedic relief for the most part, which is a good position for them, I think, because it was going that way anyway. Like, we're all laughing at it.
If they were still heels, the way Gargano and Theory specifically, I would have loved to see interaction between them and Samoa Joe, where in a pull apart or something weird, you would have Cross on one side, Joe in the middle, and then Gargano and Theory just kind of beyond or just behind Joe, who's trying to keep the peace, be like, haha, you can't do anything, la 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 la. Yeah. But instead we can't get that. Joe is extremely entertaining. I'm looking forward to seeing him and Pete Dunne kind of looking at each other a lot. I think there's something in there. Obviously that's, you know, everyone thinks there's something in there. Joe is basically squaring up everybody. He's eyeing them up. And I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It feels really good.
He told Ryan Satin that he's getting ready to go back to work. And by work, I mean in the ring. So if that can happen, I'm all for it.
Yeah, okay, that does sound intriguing.
Austin Theory in that match, by the way, hitting those really cool top rope, middle rope, whatever, Spanish flies. I like it. Keep going. I'm all for a good flying match. Why not? And Gargano in the end pins Oney Lorcan, because let's face it, Gargano needs to look strong next week.
Yeah, oh yeah.
By the way, we will be doing predictions in our Discord. Go ahead and join it. The link is in this video. Go ahead, all right? Let's move on.
The way.
The way. Cool Kyle and Kushida in the main event. A hard-hitting, flippy style match with a very proper finish.
Good match. Very good match.
Schmoz.
Surprise.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. After the match, Adam Cole rushing Cool Kyle, and they tease leaving the building, or Cole teases leaving the building earlier in the night, right? Has that whole face-to-face with Regal. And next thing you know, you've got the Diamond Mine showing up. My God.
Yeah, we didn't know when it was going to happen. We were like, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. Like, and it didn't happen until like the very last few minutes of the show. So it was like,
when it hadn't happened yet, and we got to the main event, I knew immediately it was going to be, they're going to take out Kushida. Yeah. They're not going to take out anyone else. They're going to take out Kushida, especially because earlier in the day there had been a report from Sean Ross Sapp saying they're going to put a focus on the cruiserweight division. And the second I read that and I put the two and two together, I'm like, oh, okay, Diamond Mine is going to be a cruiserweight centered thing. And then, of course, And then like 2 days later, they fired most of 205.
Yeah.
So there you go. Either way, they've got Roddy Strong, Tyler Russell, Malcolm Bivens, again, called it. And Hideki Suzuki, which, by the way, still not named on WWE.com. Nobody officially knows who Suzuki is.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out tonight if they give him a new name, if they introduce him properly. Either way, there could have been more people in Diamond Mine. We talked about it on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Arturo Ruas and Marina Shafir, Roddy's wife, were supposed to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Obviously not the case anymore. Whatever.
It sounds like maybe they didn't know who they were going to feud with. Maybe they were considering putting them up against Hit Row and then change their plan, at which point they would have needed, like a few more members. But I don't know.
Ooh, Hit Row. We're going to get to that in a minute, aren't we? Yeah. So tonight we're going to find out what the Diamond Mine has in store and who the mysterious third member is. By the way, they're doing face-offs tonight for Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, and face-offs for MSK and Tommy and Timmy. Take that as you will.
They got to add something to these face-offs.
They do. It's usually contracts and a table.
No, but not that. Something else. I don't know. Make them play air hockey or something. I don't like.
So at Great American Bash, MSK takes on Tommy and Timmy.
Yeah.
MSK getting booed relentlessly by the CWC is starting to make me think that they're either going to retain and turn or drop the titles and chase as like hot baby faces.
Yeah.
In an attempt to rebuild them that way. I don't know what to expect.
I don't know, but it's hard to call what's going to happen. I could really see Tommy and Timmy taking those belts.
Yeah, I can really see it. I want to see Tommy and Timmy take the belts, and we're going to get into that when we talk about Hit Row in a minute. But for MSK, if they're going to keep getting booed, they got to find a way to retool them, because telling me every week that Nash Carter's dad died is not really doing it for me. That's
not really an identity.
No, it's not, but it's good like that. There's more stuff happening tonight. That's cool. We'll get to that. I'm not going to spoil NXT for anybody or 205 Live. Adam Cole, Carmelo Hayes opened up the show last week. I wasn't a big fan of Hayes doing the ruthless aggression line.
Yeah, that was weird.
That little cheesy. I liked the match. The match was great, especially Carmelo Hayes selling the Panama Sunrise.
Great sell.
Like
my
death.
God. He was dead. He was dead, man.
There's a lot of stock they put into Carmelo Hayes, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, it also was kind of similar to the Rock sell of the Stunner. So, I don't know. Maybe he just looks at a lot of memes, and that's how he knows wrestling. And that's all he's done. He's just putting the meme moments in there, but we'll see.
If Hayes is in this breakout tournament, almost guaranteed he wins it. I don't know if I would put Carmelo Hayes in there.
Who else is in it? But yeah.
If they really want to put stock in him, they put him in here. They have him win, because otherwise he might get lost in the shuffle, kind of like Leon Ruff has.
Yeah.
And I know I don't want to take, because Leon Ruff is another story, because he's a smaller guy. He made it far based on some comedy, and also the Gargano and Priest thing. Yeah. So I think there's a lot more put into Hayes because of size and expectations.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him. And that's a bigger conversation also, is all of these S-tier stars that NXT has, and then the rest of them. Like the Garganos, the Coles, the what's his face? Sorry. Tommaso Ciampa. All of those guys are kind of on their own tier, and they don't leave, and that's it. And then the rest of the guys coming in are kind of like,
it's possible that with this Vince stuff, they're scooping up a bunch of talent from here to take on the road, because they have more matches. They have dark matches. They have, house shows they need to work, things like that. So I could see them calling up a big bunch of people for the draft like that. The releases might have just been them realizing we have an absurd amount of talent on contract right now, and we're not going to use all of them, or we've used all of them to death and don't know what to do with them. So let's grab the top tier people from NXT, just gut NXT, and then see what happens. But
the problem with that is these people that we're talking about, these S tier stars, are the ones who have held out going to main.
Yeah. Well,
and they cannot keep that up.
That's the thing. Maybe they don't get a choice anymore. Maybe they don't get that say, and it's either get called up or get released.
I don't know if they can go that hard, but I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. I just think there is a very large discrepancy between the stars on the very top and the stars they're trying to make. There's just those newer stars have the entire the newness on them, which is good, but eventually that wears off. And then you've got the S tier stars who have been there for several years and have that name value.
They have an identity. The problem is they bring out all of these new guys and they're wearing trunks and knee pads and elbow pads and boots and like that, and they have boring looks and they have no character names and they've got names like Carmelo Hayes and whatever Harlem's new name is. Like, you know, they're just normal ass names, and because that's what they can copyright, and it's really boring. And they have this music for their entrance music. Like, they have no characters is the problem. Like, Leon Ruff is just a dude's name, and he's wearing trunks and knee pads and boots, and he comes out to I can't even remember what sound. Like, it's about branding. It's always been about branding. Like, that's the one thing that wrestling did exceptionally well for so long, and they're not doing well at it anymore.
This is still really funny that you bring that up, because remember on SmackPack I made a joke about Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, Ivan Dragon, Russian oligarch.
Bring him in. They call him Ivan Dragon. They make him a Russian oligarch, and it's so stupid, but it's 100% what they can do.
It's always been stupid. Like, stupid at least is easy and memorable, whereas now it's just like, I don't know. You had 4 MMA women you couldn't do anything with. Like,
well, let's talk about the women, because Io Shirai and Zoe Stark defeated Jessie Kamei and Aaliyah in a pretty good competitive match. Mean Girls trio is still in effect. We're going to get to Frankie Monet in a sec. But, you know, at the end of the day, it was just 3 teams at the end pitching for #1 contendership. I forgot that Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae were the champions, by the way.
Yeah, it's real easy to forget those belts exist.
Yeah, because they only have 4 tag teams. Yeah. I wasn't big on Ember and Shotzi's promo, and I love Ember and Shotzi.
I don't know. They're often awful at that part of the job.
Awkward sounds and elongated phrasing just doesn't do it for me. For someone
like they're just those very weird girls you went to school with that you're just like, oh my god, like, ugh.
So if the story becomes that the Jessie Kamea and Aaliyah tag team goes up to main roster, do they do it with Frankie? Do they do it with Robert Stone? Or does Robert Stone go up on his own and then Mean Girls also go up on their own? Or does Robert Stone stay in NXT? What do you think?
They have so many options. Like, I still think the money is in getting, like, Frankie Monet has proven herself. She doesn't need to be in the developmental thing. Like, they could pull her up, do Ms. Maurice Monet Morrison. Do it.
M&M squared. Yes.
Yeah, like, just do it for a little bit. Break them up, have Morrison do a singles run, because he's like, you know, he's been talking a big game. He's the top of his game, and he's doing a damn good job in the ring right now. Give him a push. He's ready.
I'm a big fan of having the Mean Girls come up as a threesome, having Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea kind of trial by fire figure it out, because they've been down for so long, especially Aaliyah, and it's time for them to sink or swim. Yeah,
and if they can't do it with Frankie leading them, then like, it's not going to happen. And because she's going to go up and she's going to do just fine. Like,
yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Frankie Monet, she defeated Elektra Lopez. If she looked familiar, she was the former Carissa Rivera. She was Lashley's ex-wife, not in real life, on TV. She was also Chris Statlander's former tag partner, because they were the Brooklyn Bells back in the day. So there you go. Elektra Lopez, who is, for all intents and purposes, I think signed as well, had her name trademarked this week. So they're playing in something. And then we have the women's triple threat tag match: Shotzi and Ember, Dakota Raquel, Shirai, and Stark. Somewhere the women's championship is being defended, but it's not going to be a Great American Bash, I guess. So, okay, or not. Indy and Candice remain the heels, by the way, while Johnny and Austin are presented as faces.
Yeah, it's odd.
Either you turn Indy and Candice, and then the only winners that make sense are Dakota and Raquel, or Indy and Candice remain the heels, and Shirai and Stark are going to challenge.
Yep.
If they do Shotzi and Ember again, I'm not happy.
No, please, not. But I'm not surprised. You know what? I'd go so far as to bank on it. Like, I think it'll be Shotzi and Ember.
Well, Shotzi was at TV at the Thunderdome this past week, so there you go.
Oh, so maybe. Oh, no, she's not ready.
Bronson Reed is ready. I'm a big
He's
fan.
ready.
Interrupted by Hit Row. Do we do Swerve and Reed at Great American Bash, or do we wait for SummerSlam takeover?
I don't know. I want it now. That sounds good.
Reed is the play, right? Like,
yeah.
Not Reed. Swerve is the play.
Yeah.
I think so. It's got to be Swerve winning that match. Has to be. No one else makes sense. Winning that title. Going back to the tag titles, by the way, Top Dollar and Ashanti against Tommy and Timmy has a better alignment to me. If you give Tommy and Timmy that tag title run.
Yeah, I could actually. Oh, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see the two of them work with Top Dollar. Like, you know, you got an Anchor and Ashanti because like they can do their regular stuff, but then a big man like Top Dollar with Timothy Thatcher, I think would be really interesting.
Oh, I like that. And going back to Reed, Bronson Reed joining the main roster is inevitable.
It's a certainty. He's got everything that Vince wants.
And that's why do you bring him up before the draft or do you have him as part of the draft? Because again, my feeling is Karrion Kross joins officially as like the draft pool, the guy that everyone wants, the young, whatever you call him, the big signee.
Yeah.
Do we do the same with Reed and they each get splits, or what do we do with Bronson Reed?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I don't know. I have this feeling that they're just going to call up a bunch of people, so they might just do that with the draft to add a bit more excitement to it. Maybe try to reassert NXT as the developmental. Maybe they don't want to maintain the three distinct brands anymore, and they want to reposition that because they have to reset it if that's their goal, because it is not like it is three distinct brands on equal footing right now. But I can see them wanting to put that back the way it was.
Tonight, Mercedes Martinez and Jake Atlas take on Xia Li and Boa, who represent Tian Sha. Listen, I really, really, really don't want to get into the optics of Pride Month and how WWE treats LGBTQ talent, because let's just say Jake Atlas opened Pride Month in June with the win and is probably going to close it with a loss, and we're not going to see Jake Atlas again. Maybe in the tournament. I think he was in the last Breakout tournament.
Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Either way, I don't. It's a problem. It's something that needs to be addressed. It's something that I think people need to understand, that there's a weird treatment of their talent. Yeah,
and like I don't know what they want from him, because he's killing everything he's given. Like,
yep.
He's not given much, but he goes out and he does damn well with it. So I like. Except that one bit of acting was pretty bad, the Mercedes segment.
You got yourself a partner.
Mercedes I blame the director for all of that. That was all true. Garbage.
Martinez, you think they're going to 50-50 the story with Tian Sha, or is it just going to get Boa gets a victory, or Xia Li pins Martinez again?
I think you're going to see Xia or Boa go over. Like,
I think it's time.
I think Tian Sha wins, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where we need to go. Also tonight, Cameron Grimes is going to be in action. I assume he's going to take on Ari Sterling after he punched him out in the parking lot last week.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's pretty safe to assume that.
Yeah.
And also, socials, WWE socials are asking who should face Kushida next. I mean, I assume it's going to be everyone in the Diamond Mine one by one till he gets to Roderick Strong, right?
Yep. Pretty much.
Anyone else? I mean, maybe Grayson Waller, who the former Maddie Wahlberg, no relation, who's been on 205 Live for the last little bit. Could be him. I don't know who else.
I wouldn't know.
It could be Andre
like
Chase.
A majority of people was not watching 205 Live, hence the releases.
Fair. Joe Gacy has a match this week on 205 Live. I like that. Anything else on NXT? Let's take a quick look. No, nothing. Diamond Mine is going to be something big for them, and I'm looking forward to Bivens and Rust and Roddy and Hideki. I want to see what we do next. Until then, Tim, where can the friends find you on the internet?
They can find me at Tim Stonep, TimbStonep on Twitter.
We have our Discord. Go and join it if you haven't already. It's in the description of this video. There's a link directly. If you're listening to us on podcast form, please go ahead, leave a five-star review. Tell your friends about us. Share the link around. We love to talk about wrestling with y'all. And we are at Tim and Joel Pod on all socials. I am at Joel Pearl, JoelPearl. You can find Tim on the dark web. That's right. And until then, enjoy NXT.
I don't fuck with that.
Enjoy the week. We'll see you for SmackPack Sunday at noon. Cheers, everybody. See you then.